Hello, everyone, and welcome to my first battle report. I am excited to bring this to you. I've been playing the Ninth Age on and off for about 5 years now, and I've never really taken the time to gather many pictures for posting on forums and so on. So uh, now that I'm in a new city, in a new province, I'm hoping to try something new and at the same time play some more games and paint some more minis. So hopefully it turns out well. But either way, let's just jump straight into it. And we have a Åsklanders versus a Warriors of the Dark Gods game. 4,500 points. Usually it's 4,000, but the 500 extra points uh, lets you add a couple more monsters or some more elite units. So it's actually that 500 extra points is actually pretty fun. But yes, it is my Åsklanders versus my opponent's Warrior of the Dark Gods. I have always played. My first army was High Elves, and then my second army was sort of Chaos, or correction, sorry, Warriors of the Dark Gods, and also Demons, just because the models I had at the time were you could either or. But I've been going towards Asklanders because I really enjoy the rank and file of the Warriors of Dark Gods, and I feel the rules that I'll explain in a moment for the Asklanders suit my needs. And I like Chaos slash Warrior Dark Gods, so I like the Viking aspect of this. So I'm looking forward to it. And so yes, let's just jump straight into the lists. So at 4,500 points, I have my named character, but he's just a chief, Connor Kakar. Simply put, he is a General Jarl, which is a 40-point upgrade to give him +2 attacks, and some more points for his special items. His shield has a sigil protection, so +1 armor. Spear, I think that's pronounced Bjargfully. Let's just call it Bjarg. It is a spear enchantment exclusive to Asklanders, where it gives the user divine attacks, lethal strike, and zeal, which is huge, especially the zeal part, which I'll explain when we see the first picture of the armies. Warding of Unity, and Talisman of Protection. So if my memory is correct, I believe he has let's go 5, or I think he's got a 2+, 5+, or a 3+ armor and a 5+ sages. Not bad, just for your foot general. Next we have my Longship Raid, Asklander Chieftain, with paired weapons. The Longship Raid is a 2 per army special ability for the Chieftain, where it allows the wielder, such as the hero there, and he can be joined by at most 30 basic Asklanders, which are similar to barbarians. If I say barbarians by accident, I mean Asklanders, which I'll go over in a second. So he can be with Asklanders, or he can be with Huskarls, 20 Huskarls or 30 Asklanders. So it's pretty much like an ambush party, a long ship raid. And they are guaranteed to come on the battlefield edge at the beginning of turn 2. So it's pretty neat. Never used ambush before, but I think it worked out. Next, we have my BSB with paired weapons, Hero's Heart, and Gunnager's Armor. Gunnager's Armor is also exclusive to Asklanders, where it provides the wielder height 1 or 2, so on foot or horseback or on a war dais and so on. It provides them fearless, so the whole unit gets fearless. Parry, so essentially using shield and sword, so you can incentivizes to use paired weapons or great weapon and still have the protection. And also, you cannot wound the wearer on better than a 4+. So you pretty much hit him on a 4+ and wound him on a 4+, which is not bad. He's only got a 5+ armor, but it's better than nothing. Next, we have our Seed Canar. I think that's pronounced. Let's just call him a Wizard Adept. He's just a basic wizard. Res 4, 1 attack. I think he's just there for some magic. And last, we have a Berserker Hero on a Wasteland Behemoth with paired weapons, Symbol of Slaughter. Now, I believe the Symbol of Slaughter is the potentially the only special weapon or sorry, special item, magic item, whatever they're called now, to come from the original book. You see that once or twice. If you go to the second edition for Makar, you can see that they have the torch and a few here and there ogre items, which is pretty neat. Um, Berserker Hero is exclusive to 3.0 version, or the playtest 3.0 version of the Åsklanders, and essentially he is naturally Strength 5, AP 2, with natural Agility 6, and 4 attacks. So I mean, he's getting pretty up there with being similar to a Chosen Lord. Um, and the his Berserk rule, which only applies to him because I have no other Berserkers. It gives him at the start of the game. He start of the game and then for the rest of the game, obviously, he has +1 strength, fearless, frenzy, fury, which is the old battle focus, which is good, which is very good, and especially zeal, which is real fails to wound. So strength 6, real fails to wound with 7 attacks. That's pretty good. And let's go into core. So we have our 26 Åsklanders Raiders. I just put the Raiders in there to help me remember. They are with the Longship Raid. So they still count as core, which is great. Obviously, core and scoring if you put a standard on them. So that's not only cheap core, but also you can ambush, which is great. Paired weapons because it's free. Next, we have 40 Åsklanders with spear and shield and a standard. Just a big old block, and he's going to go with the giant, so we'll see that in a second. A unit of 5 Warhounds and 10 Warrior Warrior of the Dark God Warriors. You could take 1 unit of 10 to 12, and it counts as core, which is pretty interesting. Only 10 of them, which is unfortunate, but they got paired weapons and a standard, so I mean, they can still dish out some damage. But they pretty much just fill up the core. For special, we have 2 units of 37 Huskarls with gray weapons because they're free, and they both have standard. The first unit with the Raven Banner, that is with my general, and the Raven Banner gives them gives all models in the unit a devastating charge, +1 strength and +1 AP, which is nasty for. You know, actually, now that I think about it, I think I forgot to use that during the game. But either way, gives them +1 strength, +1 AP, which is great. Strength 7, AP 4. That's no joke. And then it also gives them Unruly. And one more thing, I can't remember, but it didn't come into play. And then lastly, if they kill or catch or eliminate a whole unit, they gain Resolute, which could be really good for how many ranks I have. And then the Blessing of Sleipnir is the unit gains Swift Stride, which is great. And if they are in the wording, I believe is supposed to be if the unit is in contact with a terrain piece, then they gain reroll failed charges. But the way it's written, it says that the unit's in a terrain piece. So I think it's supposed to be in contact, but actually I don't think it ever came into. I don't think it ever worked out that we had to use it. So anyway, and then lastly, the Åsklander Giant, essentially the same as a normal giant with Big Brother, and then his version of Giant Sea Giant Do gives him a shield and Åsklander Battle Fever, which I'll explain in a moment. And then Giant Shield Bearer, which is again unique to the Åsklanders. It essentially gives him a shield, or sorry, he already has a shield. It gives him +1 armor, gives him a spear, it makes him a war platform, so he goes inside the unit of 40 Åsklanders. Enemy models in physical contact with him suffer -1 to hit in the first round of combat. It's called Fortified Position, so it's as if you're charging someone on a wall. And lastly, the whole unit is considered to be in soft cover. So that's cool. You know, gives him a spear and gives him 3+ armor. So that's not bad. And I made him Big Brother to fill up more space for ranks, impressive ranks, and so on. And then lastly, a Colossal Kraken. Exactly the same as the Dark Elf one. minus Scent of Blood. But just, yeah, just a good old Kraken. And then next we have the opponent's army list. Pretty straightforward. We have a Sorcerer, Master of Occultism. The photos are a little mixed up, I apologize. But you can see his spells there, and then he's got the warding. So the Sorcerer's on foot, and then he's got Warding of Unity, and Dark Familiar, which is interesting to increase his spell range, which I guess for Occultism, most of your spell ranges are 12. I mean, they are powerful, so it's good to increase the range there. We have 2 Chosen Knights, both on Karkadons. The general has a halberd with Vorpal Binding, and the whole army list is Wrath, which is really cool. And then the other Chosen Lord is also on a Karkadon with Lance and Entropic Aura, which would be really, really bad again, or really, really good against my Lord or my BSB's unit and so on. But thankfully, that never came up. Or sorry, spoilers, whatever. Unit of 18 halberds, Chaos Warrior halberds with Wrath and a Zealous Banner, and 597 points for that unit. Goodness gracious. 26 totally not Åsklanders, Barbarians, Throwing Weapons, Spear and Shield, Standard Bearer, good old stuff. 2 units for core, look at that. That's crazy. 2 units of 4 Chosen Knights, identical with Wrath and Standard Bearer, and Stalker Standard. That's expensive. Speaking of expensive, 10 Chosen with Halberds, Wrath, and a Standard Bearer. Goodness. And a Battle Shrine, Whispers of Veil, Silver Spike. Gotta love Battle Shrines. They look good, and they do good. So yes, we have deployment. It is in circle. The primary was Trophies of War, which you essentially kill the opponent and you take their flag, or not if the flag, you take like a trophy from them, and you have to hold on to them. If you become shaken, you drop them. Simple as that. Secondary, which actually goes hand in hand with Trophies of War, is Conserve Our Numbers. You got to have, if I remember correctly, you have to have at least 3 scoring units left on the battlefield to not lose the secondary, and then vice versa, have the opponent not have 3 scoring units to win the secondary. So on the left there, you see in circle, the warriors have the top, and I have the bottom. And then we rolled randomly just for Bog of Beasts, and I gotta say that the battlefield is quite strange. I had the bottom as well, so both pictures line up well. I had the bottom with the passable right in the middle of my deployment. And then, unfortunately, because I almost rely heavily on my rank and file, I have 3 right in front of me, 3 different terrain pieces that disrupt my ranks. So it could have went very poorly very quickly. But either way. So there we go. Let's go with the first pictures. So on the left side, the pictures will be mostly from the side, so I do apologize, but I'll do my best to describe how they look. On the very bottom, we have my general's unit with the Huskarls, weapons. Then beside him, my BSB unit, and there's a lot of unifillers. Yes, I'm working on my army. So just use your best imagination. I'll try to explain it well. So yes, BSB unit, again with Huskarls. Then we have the Colossal Kraken, some warriors with the wizard in there. The wizard's going to be inside the warriors to protect him. Unit of dogs. There's the raiders. And then top left is the big unit with the giant inside of the Åsklanders. And then the Berserker hero with the Wasteland Behemoth. If I just skip to the next picture. Okay, there we go. This is deployment. So this is how it looks. Dogs, big spear unit, generals unit, Huskarls, behind them warriors, and then we have more Huskarls, BSB, Colossal Kraken, and the Wasteland Behemoth Berserker hero. On the right side we have his generals in Tropic Aura, Chosen Knights. Then we have Chaos Warriors with the wizard with the green banner on the front left of their unit. My opponent's front left of the unit. Chosen, Barbarians, War Shrine, that's a chariot. And then the last unit way down there of the Chosen Knights. So this is after So my opponent dropped to go first, and he won size as well, so he chose to go first. Um, pardon me. So yes, here we just see us moving up. Most of the first turn was just measuring distances for charges and so on, and me just running away from the trees because I didn't want my ranks to be disrupted. But as you can see, two giant waters right in front of my ranks. So yeah, there was a lot of thinking if I could just I could take it, but then I was doing the math in my head. It's just nah, I need the ranks, that's for sure. And then yeah, so he's just moving up. I'm just moving up. Fortunately, the table. If we go back to the previous picture, my tables. Neither of us had a playmat, unfortunately. So that's going to be my next investment. The table on the left side, the dice lining up there is the back of the table. So everything's on the right side. But that won't be a problem from the next pictures here. So yes, everybody's just moving up, and I believe this will be the end of turn one. The next picture will be the end of turn two. All the moving, I didn't plan on making a video, so I just took the pictures really quickly. As you can see, the Chosen Knights were potentially getting ready for a flank charge. Everybody just moves up. We have the Chosen and the Warriors on the wall. The Battle Shrine just... oh, actually, we see the Barbarians way on the top right. In fact, they were just in front... no, they were in the water because they wanted to get a round of throwing weapons off on my BSB's unit, which he did, but I actually casted... I should have mentioned my spells beforehand. I apologize. We saw my opponent's spells, but I chose Shamanism, and I just went with the ones that I knew well. Swarm of Insects, just for some range damage, which actually works out in the future. And Awaken the Beast, which I don't think I ever casted. It's just the one I knew offhand. And lastly, my hereditary spell, Frostbite, which you can cast on... It's universal, so you can cast on your opponent and yourself, on two of your opponent's unit or two of your own, and it gives friendly units +1 armor and enemy units -1 armor. So it can go a long way, especially against a lot of Chaos Warriors here, and me with my spears and my guard weapons. It can make a heavily armored Chosen Knights feel like High Elf Spearmen in 2 seconds. So I did get the Frostbite spell off on my Huskarl unit in the water on the top of the picture, and that brought him down to... that brought him up to a 2+ armor against ranged. And speaking of things I never spoke about, was the Åsklanders Battle Fever. Very unique rule, and it can multiply upon itself, or it can double down on itself very quickly. So model parts without mount, so just whatever, just regular Åsklanders, and if you have at least one proper rank, which incentivizes taking big ranks, which I did. So if those two model parts, sorry, just gonna read it properly. Model parts without mount that have one proper rank, they gain the following. If you're using a two-handed weapon, such as a great weapon, halberd, or paired weapons, you gain fight an extra rank. So great weapons, they fight in 3 ranks. Spears, well, they have spears, so they fight in 3 ranks. And paired weapons, they fight in 3 ranks, so that's very, very good. And the second part to the rule, that if you're using a shield, you gain +1 armor. So, for example, Huskarls, they have great weapons, yes, but when they're getting shot, or magic missile or whatever, they have a natural 5+ armor, they have a shield, and then they have Åsklanders Battle Fever, so their 5+ armor goes to a 3+ armor. And then I casted Frostbite on my BSB's unit, so it went down to a 2+ armor, which was very, very good. And it can increase very quickly. Like for example, my weak Åsklanders Spearman unit, or in this case just a regular Barbarian unit, they have a 4+ armor save, which is not terrible, but it's good against throwing weapons, for example, or just light peppering, or other paired weapons from other barbarians, for example. So it can go a long way. Plus they have a spear, so they fight quickly and they can attack in 3 ranks. So anyway, yes, this is the end of turn 2. On the bottom of the screen, we have the Chosen Knights getting ready. They have the Strider banner, Stalker standard, so they don't care about water or anything. But I stood right in front of the water because I certainly care about the water. And yeah, so next photo, we see big charges. The Chosen Knights made it in, easy peasy. The Chaos Warriors actually failed the charge, which is, I mean, they would have lost ranks. Yes, they would have taken DTs. But due to the fact that I have spears, that brings me up to agility 4, which is the same as Chaos Warriors. So if they made that charge, they would have gone faster, and that would have been really bad for me because they would have just, with halberds, strength 5, AP 2, they would have just ripped right through me. So yes, the Chosen Knights make it in, and on the very top there, on the bottom of 2, I went for 6 charges on a 6+. I failed the Kraken and the Wasteland Behemoth against the Chosen Knights, just because why not? But actually, previously, I apologize. Previously, on the very top of the screen there, we see the barbarian, the Chaos Barbarians. They actually fled because I charged with my goodness, I apologize, I forget. Oh yes, I charged with my general's unit into the declared into the flank of the barbarians that are in the water because they threw throwing weapons towards my BSB's unit, but they fled. They didn't see the flank coming, so they just ran away, and so that I failed the charge and I just went forward just a touch. And then on the very top of the screen there, we see my raiders come in. Now, I don't know if that was the best spot for them. This is the first time ever using ambush, so and I anticipated I needed support with my big monsters because they got the Chosen Knights coming in, which you'll see in the next photo. So I just thought that might be it. But in hindsight, I should have gone behind the warriors or even to the very bottom of the screen on the flank of the Chosen Knights. Just I anticipated the Chosen Knights going right through my spearmen, but I was wrong. We'll see in a moment. Either way, yes, the Chosen Knights got in, and the Chosen Knights on the top got in as well, just against the Wasteland Behemoth / Berserker hero. And so, yep. And then here is after combat. I was blown away that I survived. But the reason I survived actually is because he allocated most, if not all, of his possible attacks against the giant, which makes sense. The giant is not only taking up space, but he has AP 3, that can cut right through a Chosen Knight's armor, Strength 5, and he's just very strong, to put it lightly. On the bottom, we see he's got the 3 dice on the very bottom there. He's got 3 wounds left, so he did 6 wounds. It's pretty good. And then actually that dice with my dice, the red one on the very bottom, was actually my opponent miscasting a spell, and it was from his battle shrine. And in magical mishap, if the model who casted it doesn't have a learned path, which the shrine does not, he's Wizard Conclave. He can choose a few spells here and there. You have to choose the first spell from the path of the most known spells. So it was Silver Spike, and then the Hereditary. So I got the first spell from Alchemy, which I can't remember the name at the moment, but it is +1 to hit and +1 AP. So that was very good against Chosen Knights. So my giant had AP 4, and my spearman had AP 3. And my spearman, because I had so many ranks, actually had pressive ranks as well. So I'm hitting on 3s, wounding on 3s, and AP was AP 3, 2+. So I had a 5, and he had an armor save of 5+. So there was a very big possibility of me just cutting through his armor. Seeing this at hand, he did cast. You can see a dice. It's off screen, but it's at the very bottom. I remember that He casted an occultism spell. I can't remember the name, unfortunately. I should have this prepared, but I didn't think about it. Um, Hand of Glory, actually, I think is what it's called, where it gives them a 5+ ages essentially. So that he was rolling his 5s and 6s very well for his saves. And so at the end of combat, took some wounds, lost some models from impacts and stomps because he has the stalker standard. And I did 2 wounds. I count down with my dice. My opponent counts up, so I did 2 wounds out of all of those attacks, and I stayed. Had more ranks. I broke down steady. Well, I lost. I definitely lost combat, but I was steady because I had more ranks, and so I just rolled on my general's 9 and was good to go. At the very top there, again, I anticipated my opponent cutting right through my berserker here, but surprisingly, no, I did not. His um, his chosen lord with the lance actually did swing before I did, or it was simultaneous. Didn't really matter too much. Um, he did. I think he actually did 1 wound. He just whiffed. My 7 attacks, strike 6, AP 2. I believe that it 1 wound just because his armor was just very high. But he did not kill me actually at all, and that was very. I mean, he did a couple wounds here and there, but I held. I was very surprised by that because I held. Oh, very good. So this is bottom 3. This is my next charge. Next picture will be on the left side, but here we have just the pretty much the whole game on the right side. We have my general's unit with the corn symbol, unit filler, charging head on into chosen, and then surprisingly, I had a flank on the chosen with my BSB's unit, and so I successfully got that. I took maybe 1 or 2 wounds from DTs. And speaking of that, I did have Swift Stride, but because I was in terrain, I should have had the opportunity to reroll my failed charge, but I passed it, so I'm just trying to think of this for the future. Either way, there's a big combat there. And then we have the, on the far right, just them staying there. There's the green die I mentioned earlier on the water, so for their Hand of Glory. And then the very bottom, I have my wizard with my Chaos Warriors. For warriors in the Åsklanders army, they actually have Inspire Courage, which is what the BSB does, but only in 3-inch range. So yes, they take up core. Yes, they're still warriors. They're a bunker for the wizard, but they also have a only 3-inch range ability. So it's better than nothing. And then his warriors in the very top, just waiting to get their turn. And then there we go on the far left. Whew. Yeah, no, this is after combat. I had the flank charge with my Colossal Kraken, who has hatred versus height 3 to 5, multiple wounds versus height 3 to 5, and then his Lash Masters, let's call them, but they're just basic Åsklanders. And so that is his chosen lord. Actually, I killed all of the chosen knights, and as you can see, I only got 4 wounds left on the Kraken and 3 wounds left on the Behemoth. So yeah, he absolutely. In addition to the spells from the Battle Shrine up there, he absolutely took me down most of the time. But no, just some big strong attacks. On the very top there, we have the barbarians versus the barbarians, pretty much, with my chieftain there. But he just has paired weapons, nothing special. Here we see the chosen knight or chosen lord fled upward, and I caught him with the Charybdis, and I rolled 2-1 or Swift Stride, 2 1s with the model on the very bottom left. I can't remember his name for a second. Berserker Hero on a Wasteland Behemoth. And on the far right, we have the Kraken just getting closer to his target. Over here, we have a lot of death, to put it lightly. I do remember the in the previous picture. I'll go back to it really quickly. We have in the very bottom, we have the warriors that are very, very close. Maybe a little bit too close, but anyway, very close to both units. And then we have the next picture over here. It seems like he moved back, but nope, there used to be guys there. um, we have, so in the very middle of the picture, we have the Huskarl BSB and the Huskarl General Unit flanking and hitting the front of the Chosen. Um, Obviously, my great weapons hit last. I think I have 4 ranks, 3 sticks, charge, flank. So I think my combat res was 10 going in. And so my general hit first with his super spear. Rio fails to hit. Oh, and because the exact same as the barbarian chief in the warriors book, the Åsklanders chief has deeds not words, which means if he's in a unit with Åsklanders battle fever, which all infantry and so on have, he gains he benefits from fury and hatred. So battle focus and real fails to hit, and that's not only in the first combat, that's all the time. So his spear and that rule gives him real fails to hit, real fails to wound, lethal strike, divine, all the good stuff, all the stuff in the Santa's list. And so I think he killed like one guy, one chosen warrior, and then my BSB swung, and he did maybe 1 wound or something, but for some reason the chosen were just tough cookies. Well, then he killed most of my then he destroyed most of my Huskarls. I believe 3 attacks each, offense 6, so hitting on Huskarls actually have a defense 5, but chosen have offense 6 and defense 6, so hitting on 3s and killing on 2s because I'm res 3, so he just cut through me. Oh, and he's got wrath, so reroll fails to hit. Yeah, no, he was cutting through me. And so I eventually, just because of my high numbers, I just eventually got to swing, and my great weapons killed a total of, that's 1, 2, so that's 10 wounds, 2 more there, and he's got 1 more left. So a lot, to put it lightly. And then and then after combat, at the very end, because he killed so many of me, it was actually, I think I only won by 2 or even 3. He passed his roll. I think his general has a 9. I think chosen have 9 anyway, so he just passed his roll. Good, we're there, done. He did move his guys over a bit, so I moved my lord into contact as well. But here on the very bottom, as you can see, the chosen knights are gone. They are still on the table, but they are dead. And the warriors are still where they were, because I killed. Correction, I ran down, but I did eliminate the chosen knights. The giant is obviously dead, so he killed the giant. But I was lucky enough to just start poking with my spear, poking right through the chosen knight armor. And with my combat res, with my +1 to hit because of the free spell, impressive ranks, which is +1 to wound, and all those goodies, the high AP and so on, I was just eventually able to kill enough actual chosen knight models. And then, same as the very top, the chosen knight, or sorry, chosen lord ran away, and I was able to catch him. And catching him put me right into the front of the buzzsaw that is the halberd warriors. So we'll see how that goes. Next picture. Yeah, so on the very bottom, although he hit before me, I think he only did a couple hits. My Åsklanders raiders were able to win the combat, and the barbarians were only 2 inches off the table already, so they auto ran. So I just stayed and turned. Then we have the battle shrine on that chariot model there, so he's just kind of with his light troops, he's just backing up and shooting, backing up and shooting. And yeah, so if I remember correctly, this is bottom 4, or maybe top of 4, but it's getting close to the end. Here we see some combats turning. So we have the very depleted, but not shattered yet, depleted Åsklanders core unit just get destroyed by by the warriors. I did take a few models away, which is not bad. Because I charged into him, I was faster because I'm agility 3, 4s with spears, and then charge 5, and warriors are naturally 4. I was able to get a few models to kill, but then he swung. Yeah, he swung hard. And then they pursued me, did not catch me, but the pursue did lead into the other combat. We just didn't put it contact to contact just because some models were interlocking with each other. But the warriors are in contact with my general's unit. So yes, and then obviously the chosen knight, or sorry, chosen infantry, the Huskarls, and the Huskarls are still fighting. I think my general picked off a few more here and there, but we'll see in the next photo. Yes, so well, he did maybe pick off one or two, but because the chosen are nasty, they just outright killed the rest of my general unit Huskarls before I even got to swing. And then the rest of the combat, I still have my BSB unit. He's still swung on the side, so I was able to outright eliminate the chosen. And then the Chaos Warriors the combat score, because my BSB unit on the side there was not actually in combat anymore. I didn't suffer the negatives for them. So then only my general's unit had to run away, which is actually a saving grace. He auto ran away, but I wasn't able to be caught, and so this is the bottom of 5 because I never turned the basic Åsklanders around. They did rally, but I just never turned them around because the game is almost over. And my general was able to rally as well. I think we see them in the next picture. He turned to face my Huskarls, and I charged him in the front. So yeah, yes, we see some dead guys there, and then some dead models. So yeah, this must be after combat as well. So take some wounds. My BSB has 2 wounds left there, as you can see on the top left. Just all those extra units are just moving closer to combat to see if they can get anything done. But its next turn is top of 6, so they're with no shooting or magic. It's not going to do anything. I did 2 wounds. I did some wounds to the battle shrine with Swarm of Insects. I was very lucky. I think I rolled like a 20, and then did a couple wounds there through his not only armor, his res 5, and then ward save 5+, so it's pretty good. But in the last remaining combat, my BSB did swing first. He took out a lot of models. I don't think that's all him. But then the Chaos Warrior swung, and we see some in the water there on the left. We see a dog, a unit filler, and some more dogs. So that's what, 4? Oh, because it's unit filler, they're 50 by 50. So that's 8. No, sorry, that's 4, 8. We got 10, 12. So it's at least 14 models. That's just from the Chaos Warriors. Thankfully, ranks at the beginning, high AP from the Grey Weapons, and so on. I was able to mostly survive. Mostly, let's say. And there we go. We have the last pick. So yes, there's some more death. Chariot's just moving around, just doing his thing. So yes, he's got 3 wounds left, so I don't get his points. But everyone else is just moving. We just cut straight to combat there. BSB goes to town, actually, and he just, because of fury and hatred on his natural 3, paired weapons 4, hero's heart 5, he was able to get some good kills. And AP 2 on that takes the Chaos Warriors to a 6+ save, so that's pretty good. And then when it was my turn to attack, I killed the rest, so thankfully. But yeah, that's pretty much it. The normal Åsklanders did rally. I think he does get the points, 25%, but they did rally. General rallied. And those miscellaneous dogs, those are just, or wolves, I guess they are. They're just unit fillers for the time being. So yes, that's the end of the game. And last pick. There we have a 20-0 for the Åsklanders. The first game I ever played, so that bolsters my confidence. The primary, unfortunately, we didn't keep track because we were talking a lot, just goofing around, eating, and never kept track of it. But at the end of the game, there was only a few units with the banners, um, or I guess the trophies, let's call them. So I took the primary and the secondary. I had most of my scoring units left, and he didn't, so I took the secondary as well. Calculation again, I forgot to do that. Well, we did it, but I just forgot to mark it down. But I did take a screenshot of the difference, and the number was 60% on the dot. So that led it to above 50%, which is the maximum. So all the points together led to a 20-0. So yeah, thank you for watching. I did ramble on a lot. I apologize, and I'm rambling on right now, but I hope you all enjoy. Um, I'm definitely going to be painting some more Åsklanders. I'm redoing my lists just to really emphasize what I liked a lot, and hopefully I can include some berserkers next time. I have some good models that I'm looking at right now that are in the box still, but I could put them together. And I'd like to thank my opponent, who's hopefully going to become a good friend in the new city that I'm living in. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you all for watching, and have a good day.